In this video, I'm going to cover the whole entire market in terms of Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P 500, including the economic calendar. We did surprisingly have a down day for the S&P and Nasdaq, which is surprising because the tech sector just seems to be pulling up the market regardless. But first, before the analysis, I'm going to go over the economic calendar. So for Friday, June 21st at 9:45 a.m., so a little bit after trading bell, we have S&P Flash US Services PMI, and then we have also S&P Flash US Manufacturing PMI. At 10 a.m., we have existing home sales plus U.S. leading economic indicators. So in terms of based off MACD lines for S&P, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones, seems like early part of the day it might be dipping down, especially with the numbers coming out potentially. But by the end of the trading day, it seems like it's going to be reversing back to the upside. Now the thing is though, dictating the movement of the market, especially based off MACD lines, not guaranteed for the time being because the main tech stocks that are the big mega caps are basically dictating the movement of the market regardless. So even if 97% of the stocks in S&P 500 are to the downside and they're on a red day, the top 3% could be carrying the whole entire S&P 500. So be aware of that. I'm not a professional, so please do own due diligence and research before buying and selling. But basically, I have this upward trend resistance line that could potentially act as a resistance. Seems like it has for the S&P 500. This is SPY ETF for S&P 500, and it has 4 touch points: 1, 2, 3, 4. And plus, there's this baseline that I think if we came down to it, it would pretty much bounce off or consolidate a little bit because we've seen multiple resistance touch points plus support touch points as well. But for the most part, in terms of tomorrow's trading day, Friday, June 21st, 2024, if you were thinking that this upward trend resistance line will still hold up, we're looking at resistance leading up to probably end of trading day as the max as $553 and some change. On the low side, $553. But in the beginning of the day, it's going to be $552, give or take. So it depends on what point it'll hit it at the resistance level, but somewhere between 552 to 553 and some change on the low side. Now, in terms of passing the previous all-time high, you would have to hit 550 and some change and past that. And then it seems like we've been consolidating a little bit at the 547, which is right now we're at $547 anyway, regardless. And then in terms of support on the downside, based off the moving average, based off these resistance levels and potential support, bounce support, we have support at the 544 and some change level. And then if you think it's going to go lower, which I think it could potentially, it would come down to this potential support / moving average right about here, about $538. I don't think it's going to go any lower. If it does go lower than $538, I'll keep you guys posted on X and YouTube. I do post these videos daily. Highly encourage you to check out the latest video so that way you get the latest, most up-to-date information. But yeah, again, follow me on X and YouTube for that postings, or / I'll post them on community posts, both on X and YouTube. Now for QQQ, basically have almost the same thing like I stated early part of the day, potentially could be lower. And then by the end of the trading day, it seems like it's pointing to the upside based off MACD lines. Again, dictated mainly by the large caps anyway, so we'll see what happens, or the mega caps. But we have this upward trend resistance / support line. Yes, there's a couple false breakouts, but you can see right about here, resistance, resistance, resistance. And then it was a consolidating resistance breakouts, but then resistance right about here, 2 clean touch points and a support level bounce. So I think this could hold us as resistance again. So towards the end of the trading day, we have a cap at $487 and some change. Currently, we're at $481.47. And then to the downside, or potentially past resistance / support, it's pretty much around the $484, $485 anyway. That's going to act as a resistance. But then to the downside, in terms of support, we have $479 and some change. And then if you think it's going to go lower, I think this would be a good bounce off, $474 and some change, because right about here you see 2 bounces around the same price point. And if you think it's going to be horrendous tomorrow, potentially, before, 472 could bounce off too. But this moving average collides with this 2000. If you've seen my past, I'll just show right now. Since 2010, this upward trend resistance line dates back since 2010. We broke through it before 2020 to 2022, but then came back underneath it and then got knocked down, and then we passed through and all stuff. So this line that I'm showing here, this actually dates back since 2010. You can see when we broke through, we kind of consolidated and then just completely destroyed it. If we came down to it, it's about $470, but I think we would bounce off it because it collides with a moving average plus upward trend resistance line that sometimes acts as support. So we'll see. But that's about $470. I don't think we'll see that tomorrow, but just in case. Now for Dow Jones, again, beginning of the day could be down and then reverses to the upside regardless, just because they're all showing kind of strong indications to the upside. Anything's possible, but because again, the mega caps could be dictating the movement regardless. But in terms of the channel, this dates back since 2021. This dates back since 2024 of April, and it's upward trend support level, upward trend resistance line. And within the channel price ranges, if you're wondering what they are, so if we were to drop tomorrow to this level, we're at 38,184 points, give or take. Right now, we're at 39,134 points. So again, that low level is about 38,160, 180 points. And then to the upward trend resistance line, to the max, hypothetically, if you were thinking it's going to skyrocket right off the bat, about 40,200 points. Now, the thing is, though, for the most part, in terms of resistance to the upside, we do see resistance at where we're at right now, give or take about 39,000, and showing 39,250 points, give or take. But the next resistance level that I saw earlier was pretty much ballpark about 39,600 points. But to the downside, we could bounce off as support about 39. When I checked earlier, it was 39,000 points. And then we could go to these moving averages right about here, about 38,600 points, give or take. I don't think we're going to get anything crazy lower than that for tomorrow. But that's basically it for the support, resistance levels, and price actions. Thanks again for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. If you did find this video beneficial, consider dropping a like. It does help the channel, so thank you so much for that. Appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.